Hey, and welcome to Fix It with Jerry. Today I'm going to show you how to put some house numbers like these into concrete. As far as tools are concerned for this project, of course you're going to need to pick out the number and style you want. Now on that package you'll usually have some instructions that'll tell you what size drill bit you're going to need in order to attach this hardware to concrete. Now setting these anchors in concrete means we're going to need some type of masonry bit. There's a couple different types, but the two I have here are actual masonry bits that are designed to go in a hammer drill, and a regular masonry ceramic bit that's not designed to go in a hammer drill. And they don't look much different. These have obviously been used, but they both have basically a carbide, or I don't know if that's carbide or diamond tip to them, that helps chisel out the concrete. The biggest difference that I've found is that the ones that aren't designed to be used in a hammer drill do not last very long in a hammer drill. I don't know what it is they do to them, but you'll chew this thing up and you'll chip that piece out or dull it using it in a hammer drill. So if you don't have a hammer drill, you can get away with using one of these. They're cheaper. If you do have a hammer drill and that's the way you want to go about this project, then don't skimp on the bits because you'll burn this thing up. Unless this is the only time you're ever going to use it, then throw it in the trash when you're done. Now if you don't have a hammer drill like one of these, you'll still be able to do this project, but the drilling part is going to be a lot more difficult. The difference between a hammer drill and a normal drill is most hammer drills will have a selector where you can actually choose whether you want a regular drill or a hammer action, and I'll show you what that looks like later in the video. But without getting too complicated, there's basically a rotor inside this drill that provides a hammering action as you drill. Now that's different from an impact driver. This is an impact driver. It also has a rotary mechanism in it, but that mechanism drives the actual rotor in this direction to help turn, give you more torque when you're driving a screw or a bolt or something like that. And it doesn't provide a hammer action in this direction. So it's not the same. And then if you're going to be mounting something up high, numbers up high, you'll want a ladder like I have set up here. I've decided to go ahead and mount these numbers centered over the garage door, and obviously I'll need a tape measure and something to mark with so I know where my layout's going to be. I'm also going to need a rubber mallet to set the anchors, a hammer, and a punch so I can mark the concrete and give it a nice divot for the bit to sit into so that bit doesn't try to run, because concrete surface is textured. So if I just go at it with the bit, there's a chance it'll run. So I'm going to use a punch to keep that from happening. And then I'm going to tape my numbers together with some masking tape so I can get them all aligned perfectly the way I want them, and a level to keep me on the level. Now most of these numbers will come with a template on the back, so don't be violent when you open this package and tear it up. Just keep that intact, and then I'm going to cut that out with a pair of scissors or a knife, and we'll go ahead and line these all up and tape them together. That way I'll know where center is going to be, because the numbers aren't exactly all the same, so center may not be exactly center of number 3. Number 3 is going in the middle. Now I went ahead and taped these together. There's about an inch between each number, and that's where I want them sitting. I think that looks pretty good, just like that. And I'll go ahead and punch these holes out and use those to mark with. I'll also find center of these numbers, and it looks like from the outermost edge is about 9.5. From the outside of the 1 to the outside of the 4, maybe about 9.25 inches. So half of 9.25 is going to be, let's see, 4.5 to be 9, so that'd be 4 5/8, right? Nope, pretty darn close. And we'll do the same thing vertically. About 5-inch numbers. So that makes 2.5. Next, I'll just find the center of the space vertically and horizontally. Alright, with my center line marked here, I'm going to use a level to extend it out a little bit, and a pencil so I can erase this mark later. I don't want to use a Sharpie here. Now I can line marks up that I made earlier. dot. There we go. Take my punch, make a divot, every one of these marks. All right, in the first one, I'll show you what it looks like to not have the hammer action. Deep enough. My anchors aren't that deep anyway, so. All right, that's without the hammer action. It really wasn't too bad. This is pretty soft concrete. Sometimes it can be very difficult. All right, so now I'll show you what it looks like to use a hammer. You didn't actually think I was gonna do that, did you? Much easier. As you're drilling, you periodically back the bit out of the hole so you can help clear the dust out. You also want to make sure you're not pushing so hard that you bend the bit. You may permanently bend it or snap it off completely. Alright, these are the anchors that come in the kit. So I'm going to use a hammer to set these. It feels like they're going to be a little tight. I may have to open these holes up a little wider. Yeah, the holes aren't big enough. I don't know if you can see that. The anchor is going to try to bend and break when you go to hammer it in. So I'm actually going to just kind of open the holes up with the bit a little more. These numbers are pretty simple. There's a screw that threads in a couple different places on the number. The pointy side goes out. So you just thread those in, nice and snug. And these standoffs, or spacers, what do you want to call them, go right on there like that. And that holds the numbers off the wall. And then we'll line them up on first position. Use the mallet. Tap them in. Looks like it's starting to sink into the concrete a little too far, so I'm going to quit right there. Hopefully there are no mistakes, because I don't think these will come out very easily. Alright, that's it for this one. I hope this video helped you. You know where all the social media buttons and links and whatnot are below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.